This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Welcome to the Game Day pregame show. And for the most up-to-date sports content and betting odds, make sure you check out the Game Day, ladies and gentlemen. The link is in the description of this video. You can also check out their YouTube channel. That link is also in the description of this video. Make sure you subscribe to their channel and give them a like. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks take on the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. They're going to try to go 5-1 on the season and stay in first place in the Eastern Conference. Yes, you heard it clear. First place for the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Andy, we got Nate, we got Steph, we got Josh, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing on and popping. Andy, good evening to you.
What up, Sim?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Right? Good evening.
Exactly.
How you feeling today?
Yeah. Listen, I'm happy because it's a weekend. I'm going to be able to watch the game live. You know, don't need to wake up early tomorrow. It's a pleasure to be with you all guys here on the panel, with the chat, with the pregame show. You know, I'm not going to say that I'm going to be on the postgame show, but, you know, I'm going to try to, you know, at least be on the shoot around tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. All right, good. We'll definitely be on the shoot around tomorrow. So, you know, hopefully you make it there. Josh, what's going on, man?
Salute, Sam. Salute the panel. Salute the chat out there. What's going on, guys? I'm excited. This team is definitely showing us that, you know, there are nothing to play around with. This team is put the NBA on notice. I know me and you spoke about it on our shows. You know, this team has beat 3 of the top Eastern Conference teams, in my opinion: Boston, Philly, and Chicago. And, you know, we're putting the NBA on notice. This team is a really good team, and I'm excited the way this team is playing right now. Hopefully we can get another W tonight.
Yeah, tonight, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Steph?
Yeah, I'm with Josh. You know, I'm excited about this team. I think our ceiling is high. I'm happy at how Kimba is playing, the minutes that he's getting. I'm happy with our defense. It may not be where it was last year, but with our offense the way it is, I think it's good enough. And just our grit and our grind to be able to pull out these games in double overtime, or, you know, another team scratching their way back into a game and still finding a way to win. And everybody seems locked in, making mistakes, don't get me wrong, but really locked in. So I'm pretty excited about the Knicks this season.
Yeah. Nate?
What's up, y'all? It's early in the season. Just want to see this team continue to progress and go from there.
Yeah.
You don't want the smoke on live.
So good, Nate. This is an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to let it out. It's an inside joke.
Nate is cool. Nate is cool.
Yeah. Now, let's take a quick look at the injury report before we go any farther. Talking about tonight's lineup and things like that. According to the NBA's official injury report, and you see it up on the screen right now. I want to blow it up for myself so it's a little bit bigger. Josh Hart for the New Orleans Pelicans is probable, and Brandon Ingram is doubtful. All right, Garrett Temple is out. Zion Williamson is out. Dalton Holmes, he's also out. So a couple of big names, Zion and Brandon Ingram, are both out for the New Orleans Pelicans. For the New York Knicks, Nerlens Noel, he remains out. And that's pretty much it for the primary lineup for the New York Knicks. I'll start with you, Andy. You know, looking at the fact that Zion is out, we knew he was going to be out. Brandon Ingram is out. Any concerns about the Knicks having a letdown against this team?
Listen, I think Tibbs is one of the last coaches in the league that is going to, even let these guys think about the letdown. He's going to prepare them like it's the last game of the season and we need a W to get into the playoffs. So I hope there's no letdowns. Then again, this game before the first jump ball, seems to look easy for the Knicks.
It does. It seems to look easy for the Knicks. I think the biggest concern is human nature. Tom Thibodeau talks about it a lot. How do you fight human nature sometimes to not have a letdown when you look at a team that's depleted? It's very difficult. Josh, what about you? Are you afraid at all that the Knicks may have a letdown tonight?
Well, there's always going to be a concern there. Obviously, we had a major letdown against Orlando in the second game after we blew them out. So there's always that concern there. These trap games are kind of, sneaky. They just kind of sneak up on you. So what the Knicks have to do, they just have to take every possession, every minute of this game serious, no matter who's out there or who's not out there, and you bring on the W. But it's definitely a concern. I think the Knicks are definitely going to win the game, but I am concerned that they could be a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah. Steph, do you think that Orlando game taught us a good lesson? I mean, we talked about it a lot, but do you think it taught us the lesson so that tonight there's not a letdown?
I don't think it will be. I think the Knicks just have to be professional, which is to do their jobs every game, and that is play defense, share the ball, and shoot well. Even if one player is not shooting well, I think we have enough shooting to shoot well overall. And like Andy said a few shows ago, it's about what we're doing. It's not really about the other team. It's about what we're doing. So I'm pretty confident we get this one.
Okay. All right. Nate?
Two of their best players are out, so it's going to be hard for them to manufacture points. So I expect the Knicks to win pretty big.
Yeah, I agree. I expect them to win big, but, there's always when you have players like Zion and Brandon Ingram out, a team right now, they're desperate. They beat Minnesota. They're going to be looking to play hard, right? Because now it's an opportunity for somebody to step up and prove that they can really produce in the league. And the Knicks may not have a scouting report for that person, whatever it might be. So sometimes the teams like that can come up and surprise you just a little bit and make it difficult for you. So will it be a blowout? We'll see. We'll find out. You know what I mean? Like Orlando, they played harder than the Knicks did. And in that second game, that's what made it really, really tough. Because they played so much harder than the Knicks in that second game. Hopefully, Tom Thibodeau has the guys thinking and knowing and remembering that last game, and we won't have to deal with that. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. And, big shout out to CL Kenrick for the super chat. He said, let's go Knicks. Let's get this 3-game winning streak popping. We're here. We're still here. We're deep. Big ups to NBK. Big up to you, Kenrick. I appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat, my friend.
Look at the graphic. You did that, Sam? That's the new super chat. Look at you.
Yeah, we got it up there. Actually, I didn't expect it to come up at this time when I put it up there because I wanted to have it in the right spot. But it jumped up there. There, I could take the background away, and there we go. So I'll leave it there for now. So there was a little mistake made.
That looks good.
But for the Knicks, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. And for the New Orleans Pelicans, you have Devontae Graham, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm assuming Trey Murphy III is going to be starting at the small forward spot. Brandon Ingram is unable to go. Right, he's doubtful for tonight. Herbert Jones at power forward and Valanciunas at the center spot. So I want to talk about the Kemba Walker and Devontae Graham matchup. What are your thoughts there? I'll start with you, Steph.
I think Kimba should do okay. I mean, there won't be a size disadvantage for the first time in a while. Devontae Graham is a very good shooter, though, and he doesn't need a lot of space to get his shot off, right? So I think the issue is going to be if Kimba is picked off, right? But other than that, he should be able to stick with him. I don't see Devontae Graham, unless I'm missing something, as someone who kind of takes a lot of shots off the dribble, driving into the lane. So in that respect, I think it should be okay. Kimba's been playing well as of late as well. So Devontae Graham is going to have to put out some energy on the defensive end himself.
Yeah. Nate, any thoughts on that matchup? Kemba Walker and Devontae Graham?
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Graham can score, and he's a quick guard, so it's definitely going to be Kimba's defense is definitely going to be on notice tonight.
Yeah, Devontae Graham in his previous game had 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. That was against the Sacramento Kings. The Pelicans lost to the Kings 113-109. Another big matchup. Obviously, Ingram's not going to be there. That would have been a very good matchup for R.J. Barrett, another small forward to guard. Andy, and if you want to circle back on anything with Kemba Walker and Devontae Graham, feel free to do so. But Evan Fournier, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, right? Alexander Walker has, proven that there are times when he can be really, really good. I expect Evan Fournier to win the matchup, but what do you think?
Yeah, just to circle back, like you said, to the Kemba Walker, Devontae Graham. If I'm correct, Graham could be his rookie when they were in Charlotte.
Yeah,
playing together. So listen, they know each other, really, really, well, probably. And like Nate said, Graham can score in bunches. And, he really has a similar game to Kemba. They're both small. They both, can shoot after like a dribble or two, or just, take a shot straight away. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, the teacher and the student. So I'm going to be curious to look at that. And like you said, at a shooting guard position, I think it's going to be a clear cut. Fournier is going to be a clear cut favor here. Not only because he's the vet, he's older, he has more experience, but it also at this position, I think it's more of a the team versus the team. Unless they want to go Ivanhoe haywire, the whole offense, and just chuck shots and catch fire. I don't think this is going to be anything impossible for Fournier just to handle up.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. I don't think he's going to have or shouldn't have too much of a problem with Nickeil Alexander. Josh, any thoughts on those two? And then I want to get to Julius. I don't know. I guess we'll get to R.J. Barrett and Trey Murphy III. I don't know much about Trey Murphy III, but the first two matchups that we talked about, any thoughts about those?
Well, like everyone was saying, Devontae Graham definitely can score. He's definitely burned us in the past when he was on Charlotte. So I definitely can't sleep on him. Kemba Walker's been playing well. I need, Kemba Walker to continue what he's been doing, giving us those big 3-point shots and scoring at least 18 points, try to get up there and scoring. I think if Kemba Walker's playing at this level, I think there's not many point guards that can really touch him, to be honest with you. So if Kemba Walker continues to play the way he's been playing, I think he wins that matchup easily. As far as Evan Fournier and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, listen, Evan Fournier is the vet. He's definitely been around for a little bit. He definitely can score. If him and Julius Randle continue to run that 2-man game, and we can get Fournier some open shots, that should be another easy victory for us as far as that matchup is concerned. So I think the Knicks have the advantage, but can't sleep on Devontae Graham. I think Devontae Graham is he can get hot. So we got to make sure we keep him in check.
Yeah. What about Trey Murphy and R.J. Barrett?
Trey Murphy, I haven't really seen much of him play. RJ Barrett obviously has been playing really much better defense this year, definitely taking that next step on the defensive end. I'm not sure if the Pelicans run a lot of stuff off the ball as far as curl plays and backdoor plays where guys kind of run the baselines a little bit. So I could kind of be watching out for that. But outside of that, I think RJ Barrett can definitely defend Trey Murphy one-on-one. If that's who's going to play in Brandon Ingram's place, I think RJ Barrett can win that matchup too.
Yeah. Steph, any thoughts on Trey Murphy and RJ Barrett the third?
I think RJ Barrett. I think RJ Barrett should win the matchup. Trey Murphy, coming out of college, was more of a three-point shooter, but since I've been watching him, he's been putting the ball on the floor a bit as well. So RJ is going to have to expend some energy guarding him. New Orleans as a whole had difficulty scoring. I think only like 100 points per game or something like that with Brandon Ingram. Right. So without him, I think it's going to be much more of a challenge for them. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Devontae Graham will probably be taking more shots. Trey Murphy as well. We haven't gotten to the centers yet. That should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah,
right. That should be. You know, I think that's probably the key matchup of the night.
Right.
Nate, Julius Randle and Herbert Jones.
I mean, Julius Randle all day. I think he'll be licking his chops when he sees that guy on the other side of him. So I expect a 20, 10, 5 game from Julius. I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about this Herbert Jones. Is he a rookie?
He's a rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Barbecue chicken.
I don't know much about him either. The only thing I'll say is
I think he came from Alabama, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
I don't know much about him. But the only thing that I'll say is, I expected Julius Randle to dominate Patrick Williams, right? And Julius Randle played a good game. Offensively, he didn't dominate that matchup offensively as far as scoring is concerned. Right. So I'm not going to say I don't know much about Herbert Williams. So I'm not going to say, Julius.
He's from Alabama.
Definitely.
He's a 6'6" forward. So he's a real thin guy. So Julius should have a field day with him.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see if he's going to have a field day with him, and we'll see what kind of defensive schemes. They've never been New Orleans is not an offensive or defensive juggernaut. So, I don't think we're going to have that many problems defensively with them, being able to shut us down or anything crazy like that. I do expect Julius Randle to dominate that matchup, though. Mitchell Robinson and Valanciunas. That's the key matchup of the night, right? That's the key. Mitchell Robinson's played decent defense on Joel Embiid. Mm-hmm. What's his name over there in Chicago? Played decent defense. Vucevic in Chicago. He's played decent defense. As long as he doesn't get hurt and he stays off the floor, I'm hoping that he plays decent defense again tonight. Valanciunas is big and strong, though.
He's playing very well.
And playing very well. Yeah, he's a big, strong center. Playing very well.
Very crafty and old school.
Yeah, against Sacramento, he had 24 points, 13 rebounds. He had 2 blocks. He's averaging on the season so far 18 points and 14 rebounds a game. Yeah. Andy, what are your thoughts on Mitch and Valanciunas?
Like you guys said, this is going to be the most important matchup for this game. I think Valanciunas' role on the current Pelicans roster is really bigger because Zion didn't, touch the court this season. That's why, they don't have the trouble on offense because Zion's not there. So Valanciunas has, space to operate. I'm not going to lie. I watch Lithuanian national team games, and Valanciunas does take threes in those European or, international games. I didn't see him do it that much in the NBA, but he really, can take a three here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised, if he can't make it under the rim and dominate or at least try to score versus Mitch. He can pull up from 3, and it's not going to be a surprise for me. And listen, he's one of the prototypical, European centers, has, some kind of a, good footwork. And those 14 rebounds a game, that's not a fluke. That means he can position himself well, because he's not one of those athletic guys that jumps out of the, out of the gym. But that means, positioning on both defense and offense is something clear for him.
Yeah. Josh, you want to follow up with anything? And then I'll come up with stuff.
Yeah, I think that this definitely is the most important matchup of the night. Because they don't have Zion Williamson there, Brandon Ingram, I think they're going to look to feature Valanciunas a lot more. I think he's going to be the focal point of their offense. So I got to watch out for Mitch, and hopefully he doesn't get into foul trouble. I think that's something we need to definitely pay attention to as the game progresses. Valanciunas is very crafty. He can get his opponents in the air, draw some fouls, and he's also big and strong around the rim. So there's that and-one opportunity as well. So I'm just looking for Mitchell Robinson to stay disciplined. He's been playing really good defense this season. I mean, like I said, that game against Joel Embiid to me was his best defensive game as a Knick, because he was extremely disciplined that game and just off the ball, on the ball. So I'm expecting him to keep going and keep progressing, remain disciplined tonight, and win this matchup, because it's going to be a very important one.
Yeah. Okay. Steph?
Yeah, I agree with Josh. Mitch has to stay disciplined. If Mitch gets into foul trouble, we're at a disadvantage, right? So now we got to bring in Sims. Now maybe we got to play Taj, at 5, move Randall at 5 if we want to go small ball. So we really need Mitch to stay disciplined, stay out of foul trouble. And if I could just say something about the Julius Randle and Herbert Jones matchup, I just don't want Randall to have it in his head that I can take this guy and just dominate. We already know you can, just continue to play within the flow of the offense. I'm okay with some isolations to take advantage of the mismatch for sure, but it doesn't have to be the entire game.
Yeah, and let me add, Steph, after a low scoring game for Julius, the last game, he might want to come out and just, try to get that 30-point game under his belt. Like a retaliation game for him. So it might happen.
Right. And, I too, I don't want that to happen. I want him to just continue to play basketball the right way. When it comes, it comes. You know what I mean? Don't listen to G-Mo and all of them guys talk about you not being an elite ISO scorer. Don't listen to those guys. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and play your basketball game and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So I agree. I don't want to see him, go crazy and try to come out and get 30 points, because he hasn't scored a lot of points in the last 2 games. Just continue to play. Go get a triple-double. I'd rather you do that. Go get a triple-double. Yeah. Looking at the team comparison, and let me pull that over for you really quick. And looking at the team comparison, the New York Knicks are averaging 115.8 points per game, and the Pelicans are averaging 102.2 points per game. And like you said, Steph, that's with Brandon Ingram.
Right.
With Brandon Ingram. If we let these guys go crazy and score 120 points or something, man, I'm going to be really upset.
Yeah.
Right?
Not only you, Sim, that is going to be even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The Knicks are averaging 47.8 rebounds per game. The Pelicans, 50. A lot of that is powered by Valanciunas. Yeah. 7.8 steals for the Knicks, 6.8 for the Pelicans, 6.8 blocks for the Knicks, 5.5 for the Pelicans. The Knicks only averaging 13 turnovers per game, which is good. 15.5 for New Orleans. The Knicks are shooting 45.6% from the field. The Pelicans, 42.6% from the field. The Pelicans only shoot 33.7% from 3. The Knicks are shooting 38. The Knicks are shooting 71.2% from the free throw line. We got to get that up. We've really got to get that free throw shooting percentage up, man. That can't last. I don't see us being successful against really good teams if you're not going to hit your free throws. And obviously against the Chicago Bulls, we escaped that game, but we missed free throws down the stretch. Julius Randle was a big reason why we missed free throws down the stretch. You know what I mean? We got to knock down those free throws. I forgot what we were last year, but I thought we were a decent free throw shooting team last year.
Yeah, and Sim, we added two great free throw, shooters in Kemba and Fournier. Fournier is like almost 90%. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no question. If Julius Randle particularly is going to play the style of basketball he's been playing, isolation ball, getting to the free throw line, you got to knock those free throws down. There's no question about that. You're an all-NBA player, Julius Randle. You have to knock those free throws down. Point blank.
In the clutch.
In the clutch.
He was
In the
7
clutch.
to 8
Absolutely.
going into those two shots.
Right.
Absolutely, no question. He needs to be held accountable for that.
The
Absolutely.
great players too. They knock down free throws. And that matters most.
No doubt about it.
In the clutch, man. That I mean, normally he's hitting his free throws throughout the game. It's those clutch moments where he's missing free throws. I think in the last show, somebody pointed out, they were like, "Well, did you forget what Randall did against Boston?" I get it. He made free throws, in the overtime, but he missed a couple, I think, in regulation or whatever it was, right? Or at least missed one. But he's shown throughout his time with the Knicks that he'll miss some free throws come down the stretch. You know what I mean? I don't know if he, if he gets nervous, if he clams up or whatever it is, but it's obvious that in the fourth quarter, at least right now, Tom Thibodeau is going to go to him 4, 5, 6 times in a row. He's got to knock down those free throws because he's going to get to the line in a lot of those occasions. He's got to knock them down. Nate, any thought on those matchups? I didn't get a chance to ask you about the Mitchell Robinson and Valanciunas matchups. Any thought about that matchup?
Another big body that Mitch is going to have to go against. The one thing that Josh did mention about going against Embiid, you could definitely see the improvement in Mitch's strength. He was pushing Embiid around and not getting pushed around by Embiid. And Valanciunas is a big dude too, and he's very crafty. And Mitch has to just stay out of foul trouble. He can't bite on those pump fakes. He can't bite on those little things that Valanciunas does that makes him so good. So he just got to stay on his feet and use his size.
Yeah. Stay on his feet is a big thing. Not only as far as falling for pump fakes, but just overall staying on his feet because he keeps hitting the floor, and he's got everybody in a panic that he's not going to get up one of these times when he hits the floor. You know what I mean? So he's just got to stay on his feet as much as he can. Unless he's using it to brace his fall. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't want him to get hurt. And, wear some high top sneakers instead of these low top sneakers. He's already doesn't have good balance. He needs as much stability as possible. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You was about to say something, Nate?
Yeah, I was supposed to say, that he needs to get them Ewings, like those high, heavy Ewings. The first one is like, listen, they're going to keep him at base.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Those Ewings are heavy.
Yeah.
They're heavy.
I know. I
have several pair right now. And they're definitely heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Mitch will be able to lift his feet. He said he put out a tweet and said, "I need to play in Tim's." Well, just go get some Ewings. That might work just as good. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Game Day pregame show for your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds. Make sure you get over to the Game Day. The link is in the description of the video. The link to their YouTube channel is also in the description of the video. All right, so make sure you follow them, subscribe to them, smash the like button. Check out, they got some good content on there. All right, so go check out the Game Day, ladies and gentlemen. I think you will be, you'll be satisfied. I want to find out, and I'm gonna start with you, Andy. Then I'll come around the board. what are your keys to the game? I have some keys to the game, but I want to know what some of your keys to the game are.
Yeah, mine is going to be basically traditional. I think rebounding versus Valanciunas as just naming a player that's a whole, Pelicans, rebounding leader. I think that's going to be key because his positioning that I mentioned earlier, it's awesome. So I just hope they don't get in foul trouble because of that wrong bad positioning. So that would be the thing. And listen, the center matchup and the point guard matchup, I don't think any other position is basically on play. And I just hope Julius won't, put it on himself just to get those scoring, just to go ISO and score points versus Herbert Jones. So I think that's team ball, and rebounding. That's going to be the key to get this W.
Okay. Josh?
For me, it's the Knicks not taking their foot off the gas. The great teams, the great teams in this league win the games that they're supposed to win, and they do it handily. So that's what I want to see the Knicks do in this particular game. I agree. I don't want to see Julius Randle force it. But if the opportunity is there for him to eat up against an inferior one-on-one matchup, I want him to take advantage of that. So I defer a little bit on that. I like the fact that Julius Randle is using his isolation to get other guys open. I just don't want him to force it. So I think there has to be a little bit of a balance there. But for me, it definitely has to be the Knicks overall, just winning this game and doing it handily.
Yeah. Okay. Steph?
Yeah, the same thing. Be professionals, come in, do your job, win this game handily. This should not be a nail biter. Do not get in foul trouble, guarding Valanciunas. That's for Mitch. And play good defense. Listen, some games your shots are gonna fall, some games it's not. But the defense and that effort should always be there. So definitely play good defense.
Yeah. Okay. Nate?
Lockdown defense, rebound the ball, and don't play hero ball and move the ball around.
All right. Okay. As far as me, my keys to the game is, one, don't sleep on the Pelicans. Right. Brandon Ingram, he's out. Zion is out. They don't have a lot of named guys out there on the floor, but don't fall asleep on them. You know what I mean? Don't do what you did to Orlando in the second game. Number two, exploit matchups. I think we should have some matchup advantages all over the floor. We need to exploit those matchups, but do it within the realm of the offense. So I still want to see us keep the ball moving. You can, if you're going to isolate a player, it doesn't have to be you dribble down the court, find that guy, and then move out the way. You can move the basketball around a little bit, keep the defense floating, and then bam, hit that guy in a position where he's comfortable and let him go one-on-one. And hopefully that's a quick strike when he's going one-on-one. So I still want to see ball movement, even though we exploit some matchups that we may have on the floor. I want to see us play lockdown defense against this team. Yeah. Right? They average 102 points per game. I don't want them. They may score a little bit more because we play at a fast pace. So it's possible. But they don't shoot the ball well from the field. Going back to the team comparison, they shoot 42.6% from the field so far this season. They're shooting 33.7% from the three-point line so far this season. I want to keep them at those percentages or lower. Right? I want to keep them there or lower. I don't want them to get off against us. And then protect the lead. There's something that I don't think we've done well so far this season. Is protecting leads when we build them. We'll build a double-digit lead, a 30-point lead, and let it get down to 12, 15, or whatever it is. Against the Chicago Bulls, we let it get down to 1. And a last-second shot that could have won it if DeMar DeRozan hit it. So we've got to protect the lead and then have fourth-quarter execution. Clearly, our fourth-quarter execution hasn't been great. Right? Against Boston, we could have put the game away. It ended up going in overtime, then another overtime. Against Chicago, we could have put the game away. We won, but it, ended up being a 1-point victory. Okay, that fourth quarter execution, it's going to be key now and going forward. You know what I mean? And this is practice for later on in the season. So that fourth quarter execution, I just want to see us execute well in the fourth quarter if it gets to that in this game. I'm hoping it doesn't get to that, but if it does, I want to see good execution. Let me get to a couple phone calls here. And, let me get back to a couple phone calls because it looked like that one closed up. Any thoughts on those keys right there? Andy, I'll come around to you.
Yes, and just about the losing the lead, I was thinking maybe, when we have a big lead and even before we start to lose it, I was thinking about, putting in more hungrier players, even the rooks out there. Mm-hmm. So, there's not, the starters are not like nonchalant there, because we know that Tibbs is going to be, having them on the court. Maybe just if we're up like 20-25, just put in those Grimes and McBrides and the rest of the guys. Those guys would be playing really hard. And I don't think it's going to be, that kind of a letdown. And with 20 up, I think you still have that cushion to bring back the starters up. So, if you see like nonchalant play from the starters, just go even deeper to the bench. I would at least try and think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Andy. I agree with you. I just don't know if Tibbs is going to do that. Yeah. We've been watching him so far since he's with the Knicks, and even this season with a 20-point lead and 2 minutes to go, we still got starters still out there on the floor. You know what I mean?
And Sim, I think the assistant coaches are like afraid even to put it out, like loudly.
Right.
So.
Right. I'm sure they are. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a call, 516-405-2246. Josh, any comments or feedback with the keys that I just threw out there?
Well, in regards to the Knicks dominating, listen, the dominating can happen in multiple ways, right? You can dominate the first half and then just maintain a lead in the second half, or the game can be close going into halftime, and then in the third quarter you pull away. So I think in either one of those scenarios I'd be comfortable with. The Knicks haven't obviously played the Pelicans. They don't see the Pelicans a lot. But, there could be a chance that, this game is kind of close in the first half, and then in the third quarter, the Knicks pull away because they have too much firepower. If that's the way the game goes, I won't be angry at that either. I think, either way would be, be fine for me. So.
Okay. All right. Let me get to a phone call, and then I'm going to come around to Steph and Nate. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Good afternoon, Sam. Good afternoon, panel.
Good afternoon,
D-Max, the host of M-Toast TV. I'm the dude that was coming at y'all last year with the slogan "Panhandle Randall," and yo, I'm just calling in, man. We gotta love it and we gotta hate it, man. I mean, we won. We in first. We know it's just the beginning of the season, and let's just see how we go, man. I just want to see how it goes, man.
Yeah. What do you think about this game? Any thoughts about this game in particular?
Well, for one, Randall, at the end, I think he tried to do a little bit too much. He should have went a little bit, get a little bit deeper in the paint when Ball was on him. He should have got deeper in the paint. And Alex Burks, I don't know his inbound and passing. I don't know if he needs some glasses or some of the James Worthy goggles or something. I don't know. But he got to do something better. And I was scared, man. And my girl in here sleeping, and I'm jumping up and down. I'm in silence. And, I'm not trying to wake her up.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the end of the game, it could have been a little bit more better, man. That rebound that he missed, that putback, he just missed it. He could have took it out, or it was a whole bunch of different things at the end of the game. But we won. They said we learning. Like y'all said last year, we lost these games, And everybody want to see more of the rookies. I don't know what's wrong with Quick. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know, but I'm happy, man. I'm happy, but I'm just not satisfied because I'm from New York, Brooklyn, but I live in Georgia. So, me going to work and with the Hawks fans in the hospital and everything.
Yeah.
I just want to see us get busy.
Nah, I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you on that one. Hey, man, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your call, man. Hopefully.
Yo, thank you, man.
We go ahead
Thank you, man.
take care of this game tonight.
I got a channel, but I only got like 30 subscribers, man. It's not as big as this, man. You know what I mean? But look for me, MToast TV. I'll be in your chat sometime, putting stuff in there. I'll be in there chatting, man. Yo, thanks everybody.
I
Y'all have a
appreciate it,
good
man.
one.
All right.
Y'all be safe and let's go Knicks.
All right. I appreciate it, man. I definitely check you out. I'll check you out.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Let me get to another phone call. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
What's going on? It's Jamel from the Bronx.
What's going on, Jamel?
Chilling.
Talk to me about this game. What do you feel about this game?
Well, this game, really, I just want to see the team execute on a whole. And when I say that, I say, I need to see Thibodeau as well execute because, you see, Ingram is going to be doubtful for the game. So, basically, you want to see the Knicks step up to this game right now like they know what they're doing, So far, I haven't seen that. And I say that from this year and last year. I don't feel like the Knicks have an identity yet. We know what they're going to do defensively, but offensively, they don't have an identity. So games like this is when you need to exploit that and start to, set your culture for what you're going to do for the rest of the year. We don't know what we're going to get out of Julius Randle on any given night. The numbers that he put up last year, that's last year. This year, defenses are going to pay attention to you, so you're not sure that you're going to get this 25 and whatever numbers that he put up. I would like to see the offense run a little bit through, RJ, because you don't know where his potential is yet. So if we tap into his potential, then maybe that'll take the team to a different level, I've seen 2 or 3 games already that he's brung the ball up a few times and he either dished it or took it all the way to the cup. So he's showing you he has that potential to, play a little small forward, point forward, or whatever they call it now with the NBA. Basically, I just want to see the Knicks dominate and set a culture for what they want to do for the year.
Well, I mean, I think that's what they're doing. It just takes a little bit of time. It's not all going to come just like this. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time to grow and develop.
Yeah, but you got to exploit these games like this. All right, the first 2 games of the season, since we got Fournier, I see Julius Randle in his mind. He's just taking a page out of what he did last year with Reggie Bullock. When he brings the ball up the court, he hands it off, and then he sets the immediate screen, and then Bullock will just take the shot. Now, Fournier's doing that. We can't have that the whole year. You can't do that with somebody else. You can't set that up with RJ and see what he can do now that he's proven that he could pull up off the dribble. This man's been showing you all summer league that's what he's been practicing on. Same thing with D Rose. If you look at his numbers right now from 3-point percentage, they're skyrocketing. So you got to start to exploit this. You can't just be doing one play with one guy the whole year. Defenses are going to see that. They're going to stop that. You think people are not going to fight over these screens and give Fournier problems when he goes for this shot that you thought was 1, 2, 3? You got to, there has to be different progressions to your offense, man. It's like check downs, you know what I'm saying? Fournier ain't there, pass it to the next man. Let's see what he could do, but it's not enough of that. I feel like it's just scramble. Once our first play isn't there, we're in scramble mode after that.
Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, I see some things happening, right? I see some stuff happening with Fournier and Mitchell Robinson, some things happening with Randall and Kemba Walker, right? It's slowly coming and slowly developing. We'll see what happens, man. I mean, I agree that we need to make sure we have an offense that is not predictable. But it's going to take some time to get there, too. Hey, I appreciate your call, man. Appreciate your time.
Of course, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate the call as well.
Appreciate you. Steph, what do you think about that, what that caller just said?
I think it's a matter of balance. There's going to be times when Julius Randle is going to have to ISO and go for himself, and other times where he spreads it around. I don't think it's just him and Fournier, though. I do think he passes it to whoever. And I think in terms of setting up a two-man game with RJ, I mean, isn't that something Tibbs would have to, like, they would have to have that in their offense? I don't know if that's just something you just do.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm for the offense being less predictable for sure.
I was watching the Nets play last night, right? And I've rarely seen KD and James Harden work together. It was always, I mean, they were on the floor together, but it was always James Harden was working with, maybe in a triangle type set on one side of the floor, or Kevin Durant was on the other side of the floor.
Right.
Not that they can't work together,
right?
But when you have two scorers like that, it probably makes more sense to keep them on opposite sides of the floor so that they can get other people involved that may need more help, right? If you're just using James Harden and Kevin Durant on one side of the floor,
right?
What's the point of having those other guys out there on the floor? They're not going to demand any attention. But when you have them opposite one another, they're going to demand more attention, right? You got to spread the floor. I got to stick to Harden. I got to stick to KD, vice versa. I think with the Knicks, when people always talk about RJ and Randall, it's not at that level of Harden and Kevin Durant, obviously, but I think it's something similar. They do things a little bit different. RJ shoots the corner three. Randall is more of the creator. He's working with Evan Fournier. So I think it's that kind of balance that they're trying to accomplish on the floor, and having weapons all over the floor and in different spots. So it's delicate, and I think it takes time, to come together. It's not all going to happen in just a couple of days or a couple of weeks. Nate, any thoughts on what the caller just said?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm confident in the Knicks defense because last year we were a top 5 defense, and I don't think you lose that in one season, especially when you have a defensive-minded coach. You're never going to be a bad defense because he's always going to preach defense in his meetings. I think the biggest concern I have with this Knicks is the offense, and I think obviously we have a lot of new pieces, and it's going to take time. And like I said, there's other teams that are working in the same situation we are offensively with the new pieces. Mm-hmm. It's going to take about 20 games to really start gelling. But if the Knicks can start gelling on the offense around those 20 game periods, I think this team could be special, because that's really what we were lacking last year is the offensive side. Defensive, we were good. But offensively, I think every Knicks fan expects the offense to be really good this year because of the pieces we added. So, for me, it's just about ball movement. I got to see more ball movement. I got to see more cuts. I got to see the ball not sticking to one player. I can agree with him in some aspects when he was saying that sometimes it looks like you're in a blitz and it's not flowing. I agree. I think there are times the Knicks do have that in the offense, and that's what happens when teams get back in the lead with us, is because we play hero ball and we stop playing defense, and that's when a team comes back on us. Yeah. So I think if we can clean that up and work on the offense more and get the ball movement going and start gelling more and trusting each other, I think that's really where the Knicks are going to pop.
Okay. All right. Let me respond to a couple people in the chat, though, for a second. All right. Daniel Jones. He said, I hear nothing but nitpicking from people who barely know the game. First of all, I think we do know the game pretty well. I know I played a lot of basketball, coached a lot of basketball, played on the collegiate level. I know Steph's played on the collegiate level, coached basketball. I'm not sure about Josh and Nate. I know Andy's played basketball on a high level, right? So I think we're pretty knowledgeable about the basketball game. And I'll just leave that there. And we're not nitpicking. We're talking about ways for the Knicks to get better. If you're not talking about ways for your team to get better, then you're going to stay where you are. And where the Knicks are right now is not good enough to be the top team in the Eastern Conference, let's say. And I know they're number one right now, but it's early in the season. It's 5 games into the season. If you expect that the Knicks are going to play the way that they're playing right now and be the top team in the East at the end of the season, you're wrong. Okay? Because it's good that they're making mistakes and winning games at the same time as they're learning from each other and learning about each other. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this team developing, this team growing. We're talking about them winning as they're learning. So, yes, you better believe Tom Thibodeau is nitpicking. The coaching staff is nitpicking.
Yep.
Because they do not want them to get satisfied with a lead, having a 36-point lead and letting it dwindle to 15, or having a 27-point lead and letting it dwindle to 12, or having an 11-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go and letting it dwindle to 1.
Right.
Yes, I'm glad we won. But those things need to be rectified if you're going to get better. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Raymel Leonard said, y'all talk about our players like they're bums. Clearly, they're not bums.
Oh, boy.
My God.
Clearly, they're not bums. We're talking about how better to use them, how to utilize their skills. That's all. That's all.
All right.
You know,
Always going to be haters.
that's all.
And I would say, Nick family, give us a little bit of a break, right? Like, we're content creators, so we have to come up with different angles, different things to talk about. We can't all come in with our pom-poms on and talking about everything the Knicks did great. Yes, we are going to acknowledge that, but like Sim said, we thinking long term. We thinking about championship contention at some point, and it's okay to think about, yeah, we did well, we won this game, but we need to shore this up if we're going to be really, really good. There's nothing wrong with that. We
Steph,
know the players we have. Yes.
Steph, I'll go even a step farther. What the heck have we won? Nothing. We've been trash for the last 10 years.
20.
Yeah, we've 20, whatever. We sniffed some good stuff. You know, we're winning. We're winning right now. Yes, it's great. But what the hell have we won? Nothing.
Right. We trying to win
Period.
big, not just win big.
That's it.
So-
You know, we haven't won
I'm
anything
glad,
yet.
I'm glad you guys said it. I can stay quiet the whole time. I'm glad y'all said it.
I mean, listen.
'Cause
and,
Common
you know,
sense, man. I mean, unless we're raising a banner, what the hell have we done? Nothing.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm not going to base everything on the fact that we haven't done anything. We're doing something right now, right? We've
the
developed a
process.
culture. We've developed a good culture, a strong culture. We have a nice team. We're young. We have vets. We have young vets, right? So we have room to win now and room to grow. So we have a lot happening right now, a lot of good stuff happening right now. So what happened, you know, in the past, I'm not worried about it. I'm just worried about getting better now.
Yep.
Right.
That's it. I don't care about, you know, we can't go backwards and change anything that happened 10 years ago. We can only focus on what's happening right now. And that's all I'm trying to do. Focus on what's happening now and how we can get better right now. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. For those who are just joining us, you know, a quick look at the official injury report, which was updated about 3:30 today, and I'll give you the quick version of it. Brandon Ingram is doubtful. Garrett Temple is out. Zion Williamson is out. Josh Hart is out. For the Knicks, Nerlens Noel, he's out. Okay, so they're taking on a depleted New Orleans Pelicans team, which, you know, we expect that the Knicks should. We expect that they should dominate this basketball game. We will see. As far as projected starting lineups, You got Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. And for the Pelicans, Devontae Graham, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Trey Murphy III, Herbert Jones, and Jonas Valanciunas.
So guys,
go ahead, Nate.
Is our next game against Milwaukee?
Toronto.
Oh,
Toronto.
Okay.
We play Toronto on Monday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah. So that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the game tonight, 7 o'clock. We got about an hour and 20 minutes before the game begins. You're watching the game day pregame show right now, ladies and gentlemen. For your most up-to-date content, make sure you check out for the most up-to-date sports content and betting odds, not just content. Make sure you check out the game day. The link is in the description to their website and their YouTube page. Any last things that you want to add in here before we get up out of here? Andy, you've been quiet for a little while.
I've been smiling, Sim. So yeah, but Sim, I hope our rookies are gonna have at least a couple of minutes to show out, and it's not because the Knicks are down so much. So I would love to see them.
Okay, all right, Josh.
Knicks 120, Pelicans 99. RJ 30 points.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh,
I like that.
30 points for RJ tonight. I'd love to see that. Has RJ had a 30-point game yet?
Never. Still waiting on it.
Uh-oh. He's calling it.
Okay.
Prediction.
Okay.
Still waiting on it. Yep.
Steph, any last things you want to say?
Yeah, I like that score. What was that, 122 or 120 to 99? I like that. This is not even a game, going into the fourth quarter. And so, the Knicks just have to, not let down, let our rookies play. We win this easy, and rest up for Toronto, who's an okay team as well. And just to announce again that the Queen's Court will be Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. instead of Monday because the Knicks play Monday.
Yeah, okay. Nate?
Yeah, the Knicks are going to win. I mean, no Brandon Ingram, no Zion Williamson. I don't know where they're going to get their offense for tonight. So I think the Knicks are going to win pretty handily. And honestly, it's just on to the next game.
Yeah,
it's a long season.
It's going to be.
We just have to keep understanding it's a long season.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of going to Jonas Valanciunas. A lot going to him a lot.
Yeah, in fantasy, he's going to be scoring a lot of points.
And I'm interested to see if the Knicks are going to try to double back on him, or if they're going to let Mitchell Robinson play him straight up at first.
I play him straight up.
It always gets a little scary for me if you start to double somebody too early and then you allow somebody to get free and start to get hot. Once somebody gets in rhythm, it's hard to stop them once they get in rhythm,
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how they play against Valanciunas. I think they'll probably let him go one-on-one, at least from the beginning, see if Mitch can contain him, not stop him, just contain him and make it tough for him. And if that's the case, then, you probably won't see a lot of double teaming from the Knicks tonight. I do expect a lot of double teaming from the Pelicans, though.
Oh, they're going to have to.
Yeah. And some zone.
Real quick,
Some zone.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to correct myself. RJ Barrett did score 32 points last season against the Thunder. That was the only game that he's ever scored over 30. So I corrected myself. Okay. I apologize. RJ did score 30 before, but I'm going to see it again tonight.
Okay. I don't remember that, but I guess he did. Yeah. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head up out of here. Thank you for your time. Daniel Johnson, he responded. He said, I want to say I love this group of players no matter if they win a banner or not. They love playing for the city. I feel you. I hear you, but I want another banner in those Raptors.
Down.
I want another banner up there. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you tonight on the post-game show. The Knicks playing about an hour and 20 minutes. Go get everything done you got to get done. I don't know if you got to cut the grass. If you got to do whatever you got to do, make sure you get it done. Today is a Saturday, so you can watch the Knicks. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Spread love.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.